All right, so who's going to play what? Groovy Man, I'm going to anticipate playing Swarm. Schneider, I'm going to anticipate playing Nerazim. These players got to go hard. They're going to go for their best. That's what I'm thinking. And there it is. I win all the money for the tournament because I correctly predicted that. That's what we all agreed upon, right? Okay. So, top left. Schneider, Nerazim. Let's see if he does his one base cool drops. Groovy Man, bottom right. Let's see if he does fast speedlings and puts a ton of pressure on. Well, actually, we're not entirely sure. That was more Claire style with the pressure. Groovy Man, we didn't really get to see how he played late game. He did beat Bernie, and I did not watch those games. Anyone from the other streams, though, please feel free to share what sort of strategies Groovy Man was using there if he was playing Swarm, because I don't know what to expect here, because I've been, you know, I've watched probably more of Schneider's games than anybody else's in this tournament. I don't know. Well, Claire's, I've watched all of Claire's games, so probably I've watched as many of Claire's as I have Schneider's. So let's see how these players go. Groovy Man doing his little extractor trick, taking a second base quite fast. No spawning pool. Early expansion. Schneider getting his warp gate first before expand, getting his gas before expand. Let's see what else he does. Again, we haven't seen Schneider really going for fast expansions, if any expansions, so let's see if he takes a second one. I do believe there was one game when he got Covenant, he randomed and got Covenant. Well, he randomed between 2 races and got Covenant. And took a fast expansion, but I'm not sure. I mean, Nerazim is just so strong with those drops, so I'm interested to see how Groovy Man will hold on. Groovy Man being a diamond player, I don't know what Schneider is, but we have seen him perform fairly well. And I want to say that your rank in vanilla StarCraft isn't that applicable, but it is. You know, it just goes to show, like, you have good map awareness. You can move fairly quickly. But having knowledge about this mod is a huge, huge factor. So we'll see how that factors in this type of matchup. We have seen Claire win with many different not many different matchups, but against many opponents so far with that Brood War style Zerg. All right, there's the Cyber Core. And we'll see. No, he's going for adepts first. No warp pylons. We don't see any proxy. Pylons primed to go down if he were to get it anyway. So he's going for adepts first, which I think is smart, considering that we've seen Groovy Man make a lot of Zerglings in the past. The not unfortunate thing, but the difference here with Hydralisks is they're not light nor are they armored. They are just biological, period. And in the original StarCraft, they were considered medium, not small or large. Most things did normal damage to medium, and then they had a bonus against large or small, and then vice versa. They had a negative bonus against the opposite, whatever it was. So I suppose if you haven't played original StarCraft, that wouldn't make much sense to you, but it kind of worked the same as large and small and compared to light and armored. I don't know. It's similar, but not quite the same. All right, we've got adepts here. They're very, very good. They're very, very powerful, but again, they do cost that Terrazine. So by getting more adepts now, that just means that Schneider won't be able to get really powerful upgrades later. I mean, he will, but he'll have to delay them because he's spending his precious Terrazine on adepts now. So I've got an Overlord going up here, maybe to check for a sneaky extra base or something like that. I'm not sure. So we have Zerglings moving across the map. Zergling speed going to be done here in about 20 seconds, +1 as well. So Zergling speed +1 into fast lair, probably to get Overseers against Nerazim, is most likely how Groovy Man wants to be responding to this. But, you know, you've got this Adept hanging out behind the Fnatic having more shields than a normal Zealot. Plus, you know, normal attack means that this Adept will be able to live longer behind this Fnatic because it will live longer. And we have, Raptorlings now coming out. Those do cost money, but you can use those to hop up and down the cliffs. He's going to use that probably to harass over here, and it's going to force Schneider to have to move his units away. He's going to leave the Fnatic, and he's going to move back with the Adept. He's warping in more. Oh, he's warping in more Adepts. He's going to try to chase around these fellows. Smartly leaving this Fnatic here. The Fnatic, you know what? I noticed as well, the Fnatic attacks faster, I think, than normal Zealots as well. Oh, and the Zergling's barely being able to break in, and we will see if Groovy Man's going to follow up here. The Adepts cleaning up the Raptors and moving over here, and I'm going to clean these up. So Schneider able to hold off there, losing one Fnatic. And he's warping in his Warp Prism now. No. Oh, then there's the Dark Shrine. So Groovy Man has seen this, though, because he leapt up with the Raptorling, so he did see that. And he has his lair down. Does he have any Overseers? No Overseers on the way, but he has the ability to make them, and he also has a Spore Crawler here, which is, he has a Spore Crawler in each base. So the Dark Templar will be great in normal engagements, but not against harassment, because there are Spore Crawlers here. At the same time, if there's no units, it doesn't matter, because there's nothing that can attack them. Making more creep colonies, and he is destroying the rocks. All right, that's fine. He's destroying the unbuildable thing. And here come the Warp Prisms, and he's going, he's bypassing the expansion down here. Third hatchery coming out for Groovy Man because he needs that in order to produce more buildings. And there's the Dark Templar, and there's the Adepts. I don't think he knows that this Spore Crawler is here, though. I think he maybe needs to avoid that. Oh, dear. And if he gets surrounded, yes, he moves away from the Spore Crawlers just in time. He's going to be able to stand here, though, and destroy most of the Zerglings. If he can just stay out of range of the Spore Crawler and then just maybe hit the buildings. And, wow, down go most of the Zerglings right now. And here comes our Motivator list, Brutalisk. And let's see, it's very, very quick. I like how it kind of scampers around a lot. And he's going for the main hive. He's warping in Fanatics. And what do we have going on here? Yeah, just the Brutalisk and Zerglings right now. And Schneider going all in. There's his Annihilator, and that's too bad about the Shadow Cannon. I'm sure he would have loved to use that against the Brutalisk, but he couldn't turn off the autocast fast enough. And this composition, again, we've seen Schneider do this before, and it's a great composition. The big issue is we've got a second base on here from Groovy Man just happily mining away. The question is, how long can this siege last? How long can Schneider really keep this up before he starts running out of money? And how long can Groovy Man, based on all of his income right here, hold on? Who's it going to go on first? Oh, that Shadow Cannon. Oh, if it just went on a different person. Going for the lair right now. Here come more Zerglings. Oh, the Annihilator might get surrounded. The DT's still in there. The Fanatics just performing so good against Zerglings. I think they attack a little faster. I'm not entirely sure. And down goes the lair. Maybe. It's going to be close, and I'm not sure if Groovy Man is able to get out enough. He's trying to transfer his drones now, and down goes the lair. Wow, no lair tech. He did get an Overseer out just in time. Wow, and that's really good that he did do that, because he has no lair. He wouldn't be able to get any mobile detection against those Dark Templar, and we'll see if Schneider wants to keep this up, or maybe he can just take that victory and expand. Instead, he's getting more pylons, getting more warp gates, not expanding, though. At the same time, both players are on one base. Groovy Man down in supply. And here come a lot of Zerglings. It looked like there was a stuck ad up there. More Dark Templar coming into the fold. Lots and lots of Zerglings. He's going to try to get this. Oh, he picked him up just in time. Right into the Warp Prism. Very, very close. No anti-air from Groovy Man to be able to take that out. We have another hatchery down in the front. Hydralisk Den, so anti-air will be coming out soon. And he's got what is virtually a free expansion. I mean, it was his main base, but is now his expansion. And let's check income on both players. And I would say, even though Schneider seemingly won this major engagement, he took Groovy Man down to his size. So he needs to either expand or keep some serious pressure on and maybe take this out right now. So income is favoring Schneider right now. He has more workers. How are we looking right here? Workers killed, negligible, but 90 units killed. Mostly Zerglings at this point, but now they're Hydralisk, so I don't think he can be as sneaky with these Warp Prisms as he wants to anymore, because Hydralisk can chase those away. So now Schneider taking his second base, having some Adepts out, and he's trying to get these units at home, because if we see a massive Zergling run by right now, that could be the end of Schneider. I don't think he has any info across the map. Yeah, he has no vision. Nobody's on any watchtowers. I've noticed watchtower control hasn't been really that pressing. Third base coming up from Groovy Man, and he's probably going to retake this here fairly soon. We have a Zealot Charge coming out from Schneider, and what is he building? No real units. That's a little scary. He is taking his second base. The issue is he has a huge ramp here, plus some rocks on the other side if Groovy Man decides to go ahead and take that. So Zerglings are going to be very, very effective at pushing down this second expansion, even though he might not be able to get up here if it's blocked by a Fanatic. Warping in more Fanatics, he loaded up 2 Adepts and 2 Fanatics into this Warp Prism. We're going to see where he's going with this. Oh, it might get intercepted by the Hydralisk. Oh, he doesn't see it right now, and oh, Warp Prism going down. Might say, oh, wow, probably 1 or 2 Hydralisk hits away from being able to say that 2 Adepts in there is pricey just because of the Nerazim. There's the Zergling run by trying to get this Nexus. He's going to come down here with the Annihilators and the Fanatics. We'll see if he can save this. Some interesting Zergling micro trying to just move away even slightly. Going to be able to take out. In fact, if he didn't do that, it's possible he wouldn't have gotten the Nexus. Very, very good Zergling micro by Groovy Man, as we've seen in the past. as well. And he still has these Hydralisks just sort of hanging out. And down goes this expansion. And that really swings favor back to Groovy Man. As now he has 2 bases. And he has a 3rd base. You know, he could I should say he can retake his main base at any time for in relative safety. So now we've got more Dark Templar out. The question is, where are those Overseers? There was one. And where is it? Where is that Overseer? Unless it died, and I'm pretty sure it didn't. Going for rocks here, interestingly enough, and that's because the main force is over here. There's the Overseer, and I don't know if he's going to be able to destroy this. It looks like Groovy Man is just waiting. He's just waiting for him to break these rocks. Schneider realizes now that he's probably not going to be able to make much progress. He can destroy these rocks and maybe leave. And we've seen these Fanatics just annihilate Zerglings before. Down go the Zerglings. The big question is these Hydralisks. Very, very powerful. These are not the Hydralisks that you're used to. These are not your father's Hydralisks. These are tricky, tricky Hydralisks. Did he kill the No, there's the Overseer. If he could use Shadow Cannon to destroy that. If he destroys that Overseer with Shadow Cannon, then he has free reign with those Dark Templar. Again, that autocast makes things tricky. Makes things tricky. So we're back to square one, and how's income doing? Pretty even, actually, even though this second base is here, and I suppose... I'm actually fairly surprised these players are as close in income as they are, considering one is a full base ahead of the other. But we have a second base now from Schneider. If he gets a lot of probes out, then they're going to be fairly even on income, and we have some Zerglings coming in from Groovy Man. Maybe going to try to sneakily go for these rocks while he distracts on the main ramp. That would be interesting. That'd be very interesting. So what do we have? Groove Spines increases Hydralisk range, and then +1 missile attacks. And what does he have down here? Does he have Carapace yet? No Carapace, but he does have +1 melee. Hydralisk, very, very slow until you get whatever it's called. Oracle trying to sneak in there, getting picked up by those Hydralisks. That was very lucky. Honestly, unless I don't see any Overlords. He has a Zergling here. It's very possible he saw the Oracle coming out. And what's going on here? We have some Raptorlings that jumped up. He morphed those Raptorlings from normal Zerglings, trying to get those Adepts in there to clean these up. I'm not sure why they're attacking a pylon, but it really doesn't matter. They're going to get cleaned up. What does workers killed look like? 9 workers killed by Groovy Man. Another run by. He was distracting with those Raptorlings. Not only did he distract Schneider, but he distracted me as he got in and killed probably anywhere between 5 and 10 workers right there. Very good distraction right there. And this second base from Schneider, it's so challenging for him to hold on to. So we got a 3 base to 2 base. Income slightly favoring the Zerg, So I'm interested to see who's really going to come out on top here. This is fairly close. Now getting the muscular augmentation, which allows Hydralisks to move a little bit faster. 50% will be noticeable considering how slow they are. They were very slow in Brood War 2 until you got the upgrade. So Speed Hydralisks and then Speedlings is very, very good bread and butter composition. And here comes Schneider, going to try to take this attack back to the Zerg. Really going hard with those Adepts. So they do 10 damage against Hydralisks. That's not bad, but not like Zerglings. And then the Dark Templar, I really think maybe if he turns off autocast on these Shadow Cannons, if he can kill the Overseer, that's all. I just want to. Obviously, I can't yell it at him, but if he just kills that Overseer with a Shadow Cannon, that can attack air, can't it? Can target. Oh, it's only ground units. I'm a fool. Maybe people in the chat have been talking about it because I haven't been reading it, but that's the thing. If the Shadow Cannon could attack air, he could theoretically kill the Overseer, but it can't. Dark Templar are able to be seen, but still doing huge damage, and here's the Adepts trying to push through this group of Hydralisks. And, oh, there's the Brutalisk. Oh, it's going to buff all these Hydralisks. These Adepts are going to get cleaned up. I think those Hydralisks are all buffed. They attack faster, they move faster. And here come the Zerglings to clean up the rest. And wow, yeah, those Brutalisks with that aura is very, very good. Schneider calling GG right there. Very good game, though, up until that point, I would say. That engagement really spelled his doom. I think those Adepts, very good against Zerglings, but not Hydralisks. I think it's a common misconception to think that in HeptaCraft, Hydralisks are considered light. They're not. They're just biological, so they're not doing the full 20 damage. They're only doing 10. Great game, though.